My current situation is filming the next episode of NoobNugs.
NoobNugs.
Hey everybody, I'm Bonnie, one of your Florida State representatives, and welcome to NoobNugs. This is the series where we answer questions for all of our new Jeep sisters about everything Jeep lifestyle. Today on NoobNugs, it's part 2 in our series about Jeep projects. The thing about a big Jeep project is this: it can feel very overwhelming, especially if you've already seen it completed. It can kind of feel like it's unattainable. Those are my notes, don't judge me. A big Jeep project can get us up in our head, and we can start to doubt our ability to actually achieve that goal. Don't do that. Don't get up in your head about it. A big Jeep project just requires a certain amount of planning and organization before you jump into it. And if you do that, if you think about that process first, I promise you'll be successful as you go through your project. Now this part's gonna sound funny, but I'm serious about this. Generally speaking, in this scenario, you're gonna install this big thing on your Jeep. Whether it's maybe lights for your cowl, maybe you're gonna put in rock sliders, maybe you're going to install a slipstream like I did. These are big items and they do take time to think about and plan out. You have to understand how that thing is gonna get installed on your Jeep before you actually jump in and install it. So the first thing you need to do when launching into a large project is read the instructions and watch lots of YouTube videos. And while I'm laughing about that, I'm dead serious. Read the instructions. Lay it out. Don't open that box up. Read the instructions and understand what it is you're trying to accomplish. You've got to start with the end in mind. Watch YouTube videos. You want to see how it gets installed. There might be tricks that those instructions don't really illuminate for you. Some instructions are not written very well. Reading the instructions and understanding how the installation process is going to work is the #1 goal when you sit down to think about a big Jeep project. How are we going to achieve this? And the only way to know that is to read the instructions. Additionally, reading the instructions is going to let you know how much time is this project really going to need. And honestly, if it says like it's an hour, give yourself 3. Always go over the limit so that way if something kind of goes sideways, you've got enough time. And knowing how much time you need means that you can plan to finish that project, because there's nothing worse than starting a project and not being able to finish it. The next thing you'll want to do is prep your Jeep. If you're someone who's rolling around with your recovery gear 100% of the time, you've got a bunch of bags back there, or you need to clean a piece of your Jeep in order to get the other piece to go on the Jeep, those are things that you need to prep ahead of time and need to be part of your planning. Now, if there are parts involved with your project, you want to lay them all out in front of you. You want to know what everything is called based on the instructions, and you want to make sure that you have every piece that you're going to need to actually finish your project. Some parts end up missing pieces. If you have missing pieces, you might not be able to finish that project. So definitely count out the nuts, the bolts, the screws, everything that's there to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful. This will also let you know what tools that you might need. Lay those out as well, so that way you're not running back and forth to a toolbox hunting something down. If it's all laid out in front of you, you'll be able to work faster and more efficiently. Now comes the fun part. You've read the instructions, you've watched the YouTube videos, you've prepped the Jeep, you've laid out your parts and your tools. Now it's time to get to work. Take your time, go step by step, go as slowly as you like, because you planned enough time based on what you learned when you read your instructions and watched your YouTube videos. The real question is, you already started. How hard do you think this is gonna be?
Not that bad.
I want you to repeat that. Look right there and say that.
It's not gonna be that bad.
Step of your Jeep project, believe it or not, is clean up. There is nothing worse, in my opinion, than finishing my project and just throwing stuff back in the garage, because then the garage becomes a mess and I've got to clean that before I can do my next project. So when you're done, completely clean up your workspace. It just makes a nice tidy area, and it also means that you're not losing tools, you're not misplacing things, and you're saving yourself some time and aggravation on the other side of all of this. If you decide you want to do another Jeep project, you won't have to hunt anything down because it'll be right where it's supposed to be. It's one of those things that we kind of get lazy about. I know I do, because we're tired and we just want to enjoy the thing that we just did. That's great, but clean up first. And there you have it. That is the best way, in my opinion, to approach a Jeep project. Read your instructions, watch your YouTube videos, lay out your tools, lay out your parts, jump into that work because you planned appropriately, and always clean up your workspace. If you do that, you're gonna have an enjoyable process, and you're going to have a very empowering process. It is so amazing to finish a project and look at your Jeep and say to yourself, I did that. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Every time I finish a new Jeep project, I learn something, and I flex different muscles in my brain that I, quite frankly, didn't know I had. And that gives me such an amazing feeling. And I want that for you ladies too. Thanks so much for watching this episode of NoobNugs. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to see us cover on NoobNugs, please email noobnugs@ladyjeepers.com. And thanks as always to Lady Jeepers for allowing me the time to share these NoobNugs with you. If you'd like to see previous episodes of NoobNugs, please visit my YouTube channel, Overnoobin', where I'm noobing my way through Jeep learning, camping, and overlanding experiences. Remember to live your best Jeep life, and we'll see you next time. Voice the wind, and I know what that's going to sound like in the microphone. I just know it.